So now you're reacting to the girl group April that debuted in 2015 and have built a cohesive repertoire of releases that all evoke an enchanting fairy tale quality.
Cool.
And they currently have 6 members, and they're ranging ages 17 to 21 years old.
The music video visuals and song's lyrics give the impression that the singer is trapped inside her own thoughts, unable to express her feelings.
And the lyrics compare this lover to a caged bird who yearns for the night, and it is composed by E1.
Threntonvin. So far it's dope. Yes! Yes! I guessed it right!
Wow.
Wait, that like those violin like chromaticisms,
Yeah, chromatic,
slides,
yeah.
like,
that motion, that was nice.
They're cool. Chromatic passing tones. Oh my god, she's so pretty.
Ooh.
Whoa, that was like outside.
Colorful notes we got here.
Yeah.
Already? Alrighty! I don't know if that's a premature chord change, but I like it.
That was an interesting way to go. In this sort of like pre-chorus section thing.
I love that.
That felt like bullet time slow motion, like, dude. It just slowly got to the chorus. Okay, wow. Now the resolution is the home key. So like it's playing with, whoa, that little slide. It's playing with the 2 keys that it inhabits.
Oh,
Like a blue
it like
bird in the
sequenced
cage.
down.
There he is.
What was that in reference to?
I like that they do 2 5s in G flat major and also in E flat minor because that's what it's about.
The strings have like a completely different counter melody, and like the strings are like more melodic than her voice.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I love this string part.
Yeah, also not a verse. Just back to pre-chorus and then another chorus. No other verse.
Is that a train in the sky?
Surprise. She's a free bird now. Break it down now.
Yeah, we're getting our
Bridge.
feels.
It's a bridge.
Oh, now we're back.
Bridge.
Ooh.
Spicy.
Cool.
That drop is so lazy. There's like a lazy quality to that drop that I really dig. It's like, oh, we're just slowly getting there.
They dance so like flawlessly and kind of sad.
Even the dancing, there's like this lazy, slowish quality to it.
It's such. Whoever wrote this, they were thinking. They were using their noggin. Wow. That's so cool.
All
we
these
get a
songs
resolve?
are not.
Please.
They're all just leaving us hanging like a bird in a cage. Not the bird hanging in the cage, but the cage hanging with the bird inside.
There we go.
It does not resolve. It's weird because usually when you get these sharp mixtures, what we call mixtures in classical music, chords that don't belong, usually when we get those, it's like, oh, there's an urgency to move somewhere. But in this song, it changes keys right in the first chorus and it just stays there. So everything else that happens in it, it just kind of chills there. Oh, yeah. Which is a really weird feeling. And I don't know what your average listener hears in this song. Like, do you hear the cool chords? Comment in the description. Do you hear the cool chords? Or does it just sound like a normal song? I don't know. but I definitely enjoy it. I definitely it's something that I haven't really heard much, you know, because usually when you hear like a mixture chord, like, oh yeah, it's gonna move somewhere, but here it's like, oh, is it gonna move somewhere? Nope, it just kind of stays.
It's so eerie.
Yeah, it's like this Matrix feeling. That's why I said bullet time, because it reminds me of like, oh my god, all of a sudden, yeah, it's like slow, and then it's fast again.
Oh, I thought though there's a lot of text painting because it's talking about I can't control myself, and then there's like chromaticism, chromatic lines, and it's just having these weird chord changes and key changes. Just like, well, it does go into the fact it's like you start a key and then all of a sudden you can't keep it in the same key. It goes along with the lyrics, and I thought it was, well, great way of incorporating lyrics and vocal line. This actually reminds me of a French song I used to listen to. It's called Pourquoi.
Pourquoi tu pom de dessous?
It's actually the story of a grandfather addressing this little girl's questions, and it just keeps going on, and it just keeps repeating, but it's so cute.
Yeah, no, cool. Fits the theme of birds and like the flying up versus like the flying down string line. It's really cool, and it's like a little flutter. Da 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 da.
Skateboard goes to the lower bridge.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know. I wasn't like paying attention to the form, but I definitely like in that slower section where they like brought it down. That was definitely like, you know, brings you back to interest, and it's not all the same thing the entire time. So that's nice.
There's lots of like modulation going on. Even though like when it happened, I was like, oh, that happened. Then I was like, oh, someone else will say it. It's fine.
I didn't get like trapped bird vibes.
I didn't get that at all.
Maybe we've just been listening to too much angsty K-pop recently.
Sure.
But what was so special about the chord progression?
The 2, 5, 1, and then it moves to 4. But then it like stays there, and then all of a sudden it modulates. At first it's in E flat, and now it's in G flat.
It's a chromatic median.
Yeah, that's what that's all about. Chromatic medians are hip as fuck, just letting you know. Yeah. Also, there's like the resolve to major instead of minor, which you expected, and then there's suspension thing, and then there's also places where like there's a chromatic bass line down. I think it happens right here. Yeah. Instead of like a actual sanctified turnaround, they just have chromatic steps down, and then it resolves instead.
It's like a mini lament bass.
Yeah.
For a hot sec.
That's what it's about.
It's like the
good
happiest
shit.
lament bass I've ever heard in my life.
True. And this is just cool because it's a big circular minor 2-5-1 that resolves in major. Weirdly.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like, but resolving that with like a major 1 at the end, that happens all the time in K-pop.
a minor 2-5 that resolves to major 1 happens constantly in K-pop. It's very weird, but it's sort of like a staple almost.
I am going to remember the song as the one with the really cool string parts, because the string parts were really cool.
It's very cool.
And like, what do you think of like when Emma said what the song is about? Like, you know, feeling trapped like a bird in a cage because you can't tell your feelings. I thought it was gonna be really slow and like chill and sad, and I'd cry at the end. But it was so upbeat, and like
it was,
that's like really interesting. Like just fast tempo, bright sounding strings, like woo, major key. I like that. It's kind of like
I sort of got it. I don't know. So my way of explaining that away, I guess not explaining it away, but explaining it was the whole theme is kind of like what's going on in our heads versus how we actually act and come off to other people.
That makes sense.
Usually for me, in my head, it's a party.
I believe
it's
that.
Literally, it's like, it's upbeat, like I'm feeling myself, like I'm dancing, like everything's going great. And then like the words come out of my mouth and I embarrass the hell out of myself. And it just doesn't work sometimes.
Me
so
too.
I think that was maybe why the song was the way it was, is kind of just, it's fun.
But yeah,
but it's live, you know?
Yeah, and you gotta like move on, and I feel like the song kept you moving on.
Yeah, it did. And I think the one thing that that I really, really enjoyed that kind of lets the listener know that not all is completely well is that constant like half step, like ascending and descending motion, like that chromatic.
There's a lot of chromaticism.
Yeah, it was actually very stylistic, and it really kind of caught my ear and made me pay attention, because it's not something you hear often, especially done like that, where it's literally the melody. It's not accompanimental, it's like bam.
It
like,
was so cool, like the reversal of melody and accompaniment. Like normally it's, you know, the voice is the melody, everything else is accompaniment. But it was like, dang, the string part was way cooler than the voice part. Not that the voice part wasn't like in there, but it was just like, you know, the strings were really cool.
Hello everyone, I'm omg-horns channel creator, and I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed or learned something from it. If you'd like to support us or help ReacttotheK grow, you can do so by visiting our Patreon and help us out by pledging any amount you can. Till next time.